Good morning, dear soul. Before we pray, let's take a quiet moment to reflect on the Word of God. Maybe you woke up today already feeling tired. Maybe you didn't even sleep well last night, not because your body was restless, but because your mind wouldn't stop running. Old fears that you thought were long gone have come knocking again. Those same unanswered questions are still sitting in the corners of your heart, quiet but heavy. You've done what you could. You've tried to stay strong. But if you're honest deep down, you're just weary. I want you to know something right now, not as a motivational phrase, not as a religious cliche, but as truth. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. God has not stopped watching over you. And this morning we're going to declare something together in faith. Evil will fall today. No, this isn't some magical phrase. It's not about pretending that life is perfect, but it is about remembering who goes before you. It's about standing firm, not in your own strength, but in the strength of your shepherd, the one who never loses a battle, the one who prepares a table for you even when enemies surround you, the one who walks with you through the darkest valley and never lets go of your hand. So if your heart is heavy, if your eyes are tired, if your soul is barely holding on, stay here with me. Let's slow down. Let's breathe. Let's come back to the only place where real peace lives, in the presence of God. And as we begin this time together, I want to invite you to declare this truth with me in the comments. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Write it. Speak it. Let that promise fill your heart, because today isn't just another day to survive. It's a day to believe again, to remember that your shepherd has never left your side. And yes, by the power of his presence, evil will fall. Let's continue. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalm 23. There's something about these words that goes deeper than poetry. They hit us in places no one else sees. Because if you've ever walked through pain, through uncertainty, through that long dark valley where nothing makes sense and everything feels unsafe, you know that only a shepherd can guide you through it. You might be walking through that valley right now. Maybe the diagnosis just came in. Maybe the relationship you invested everything in is falling apart. Maybe you're holding on for dear life, but no one around you even knows how close you are to the edge. And that's exactly where this psalm speaks the loudest. David doesn't say, if I walk through the valley, he says, even though I walk, because valleys will come. That's not a question, but the comfort is this. You don't walk it alone. God doesn't shout instructions from heaven. He doesn't leave you to figure it out. He's there with you in it. The rod and the staff, they're not there to punish. They're the signs that you're not abandoned. The rod defends you. The staff guides you. He corrects your steps, not because he's angry, but because he's committed to you. And here's something wild. He doesn't wait until your enemies are gone to bless you. He doesn't clear the battlefield before he invites you to sit and eat. No, he prepares a table right there, in the presence of everything that's been trying to destroy you. That's the kind of God we serve. He anoints your head with oil, not just to heal, but to honor. Your cup, it's not just full, it's overflowing. That means your life still has more to give, more to pour, even now, even here. And what follows you? Not fear, not shame, not condemnation, but goodness and mercy. All the days of your life, even on the days when you feel lost, even on the days when you're not okay. This is the promise. You are led by a shepherd who never leaves, who never sleeps, and who knows the valley just as well as the mountaintop. So today, whatever you're carrying, however deep the shadows feel, remember this: God is not watching from a distance. He's walking beside you. Father, here we are, starting a brand new day, but some of us are already running on empty. We woke up with questions we didn't ask for. We're standing in the middle of situations we didn't choose. And deep down, we're not looking for easy answers. We're longing for your voice. So before anything else happens today, before the phone rings, before the demands of work or family or responsibilities pull at us from all directions, we pause. We stop everything and look up, because we don't want to take a single step if you're not leading the way. We surrender to you, not because it's the religious thing to do, but because we've tried leading ourselves, and it's exhausting. We've followed our feelings before and ended up lost. We've leaned on our own understanding and watched it crumble. So now, like sheep listening for the sound of the shepherd's voice, we quiet our hearts and ask, Lord, guide us. Show us where to go, what doors to walk through, what words to speak, and what moments require silence instead of answers. You know what we don't. You see what we can't. You've already stepped into the moments we haven't even lived yet. So we're asking, Father, take the lead, not just in the big dramatic thing, but in the quiet, ordinary moments too. Help us in the conversations that feel too heavy. Help us hold our tongues when we're tempted to react out of fear or anger. Help us discern when it's time to move and when it's time to be still. Because we don't want to just survive this day. We want to walk through it with peace, with grace, with purpose. And we can't do that without you. If there's any plan today that wasn't born in your heart, stop it. If there's any decision we're about to make that would lead us away from you, redirect us. If there's any battle ahead that we weren't meant to fight, shield us. Because we're not here to prove our strength, we're here to live in your strength. Remind us that being led by you doesn't mean we'll avoid pain, but it does mean we won't go through it alone. It means that even when the path is narrow, your presence makes it safe. Even when the road is dark, your voice brings light. And for those of us who feel like we've already made too many wrong turns, who wonder if it's too late to find the right path again, speak softly to our souls today. Let us hear you say, I'm still here. I still know the way. Come with me. We don't want to rush past this moment, because this moment matters. It's the place where surrender becomes strength, where weakness becomes an invitation for your power, where confusion gives way to clarity, not because we understand everything, but because we know you're in control. So we release it all to you, the pressure, the plans, the weight of trying to figure it all out. And in its place, we receive direction. We receive peace. We receive the quiet confidence that no matter what today holds, we are being led, not by fear, not by chaos, not by the voice of the world, but by a shepherd who knows every step before we take it. Lead us, Lord, and we will follow. Lord, this morning we come to you not with polished words or perfect faith, but with open hands and tired hearts. We bring you the real, unfiltered weight of our lives, the things we haven't said out loud, the fears we keep quiet in front of others, the burdens that have followed us even into the silence of this moment. We hand over to you everything we've been trying to carry on our own. The test results sitting on the kitchen table, the silence between family members that no one knows how to break, the financial pressure that never seems to let up, the guilt that keeps resurfacing even after we've prayed and cried and tried to move on. All of it, Lord. Every last bit of it. We've been holding on so tightly, trying to stay in control, trying to keep it all from falling apart, but it's too heavy now. And deep down, we know. We were never meant to carry this alone. You never asked us to. You only asked us to come. So we come. And we lay it all down at your feet. We give you our anxiety, the constant spinning of thoughts that keeps us awake at night. We give you our sorrow, the quiet sadness that lingers even when we smile around others. We give you our anger, the frustration we don't always know how to name but feel burning beneath the surface. We give you our confusion, the questions with no answers, the prayers that still seem unanswered, the decisions we just don't know how to make. Take them, Father. Take what we can no longer hold, and not just take them, walk with us in them. Carry the weight with us even if you don't lift it all at once. Speak into the places where we've gone numb. Remind us that surrender doesn't mean defeat. It means trust. It means we're choosing to believe that your hands are safer than ours. You know what we don't. You see the bigger picture. You understand the why, even when we can't. And even though we're weary, even though our strength is running low, we find rest in knowing that we're not forgotten. You see us here in this very moment, and that matters. Because even when we're too weak to fight, too tired to stand, too overwhelmed to pray the way we wish we could, you're not far. You're never far. You're near to the brokenhearted. You hold close the ones who are crushed in spirit. So we lean in, not into our own strength, but into yours. Even now in this surrender, we feel you drawing near, not with condemnation, not with disappointment, but with compassion, with kindness, with tenderness that reminds us that you are still a refuge, still a shelter, still the safest place we could ever run to. Let this day begin not with striving, but with surrender, not with pressure, but with peace. We release every outcome to you. We let go of the timelines we tried to force. We stop trying to control what was never ours to begin with. And in place of that tension, we receive something better. We receive stillness. We receive the comfort of knowing you're holding what we've handed over. And because of that, because you're in charge, we can finally rest. Even if the storm doesn't stop right away, we can breathe again. Even if nothing changes on the outside yet, something inside of us is shifting because we've remembered who you are. You are the shepherd, you are the healer, you are the provider, and you are enough. Always have been, always will be. So we rest here, not because everything is perfect, but because we know the one who holds it all. Yes, evil surrounds us. It whispers in the night, it waits in the silence, it shows up in the form of fear, anxiety, betrayal, and heartbreak. It tries to wear us down day by day with little losses and lingering doubts. But no matter how present evil may seem, there is one truth it can never erase. It will not win. Psalm 23 doesn't promise that life will be free of pain. It doesn't tell us we'll avoid the hard things, the dark places, or the broken roads. What it does promise is better. It promises presence, God's presence, unshakable, constant, with us. When David says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil," he's not pretending the valley doesn't exist. He's not ignoring the reality of danger. He's not sugarcoating his circumstances. He's facing it head-on and declaring something even stronger. I am not alone, God is with me, and that changes everything. And that's your promise too. You can walk through things that would terrify anyone else. You can stand in the middle of chaos and still have peace. You can be surrounded by threats and still find rest. Not because you're stronger, not because you've figured it all out, but because the shepherd is near. Because his rod and his staff don't just protect. You can lean on them when your own legs fail. There's a reason the valley is only called the shadow of death. Because a shadow isn't substance. It looks real, but it's not the final word. A shadow can't exist without light. And the light of God walks with you, even in the places where darkness seems to dominate. That's the power of this psalm. It doesn't deny evil. It just refuses to let evil define the story. God prepares a table in the presence of your enemies. He doesn't wait for the fight to end. He shows up in the middle of it, offering peace, nourishment, and a declaration, "You're still mine, you're still safe, and this battle will not break you." The world will tell you that peace comes when the problem ends. But Scripture shows us something deeper. Peace is not the absence of trouble. It's the presence of God in the middle of it. That's why the enemy will try so hard to make you forget God is near. If he can't steal your salvation, he'll try to steal your sense of security. He'll try to isolate you in your thoughts, convince you that God's gone quiet, make you believe that your pain is evidence of God's absence. But none of that is true. God is not intimidated by what's surrounding you. He sees the whole battlefield, not just the moment you're in. He's not pacing heaven, unsure of how to help. He's not late. He's not unbothered. He's right here. And while evil may knock at your door, it will fall, not because of anything you can do on your own, but because of the power of the one who stands between you and the enemy. The shepherd fights for you. He defends what belongs to him. He covers you with grace even when you feel exposed. He wraps you in mercy even when shame tries to speak louder. So today, even if evil feels near, it will not win, because the one who walks with you has already overcome the world. He already holds the victory, and that victory includes you. Lord, we're not just asking you to fix what's around us. We're asking you to change what's inside us. We know that the real battle is often fought beneath the surface, in the corners of our hearts, in the patterns of our thoughts, in the habits we've picked up from years of trying to protect ourselves. But we're tired of surviving like this. Tired of carrying fears we were never meant to carry. Tired of trying to be strong when all we really need is to be still and know that you are God. So today, we're asking you to transform us from the inside out. Start with our hearts. Soften what has become hard. Heal what has been wounded. Quiet what has been screaming for attention. Take what's anxious and turn it into peace. Take what's frantic and turn it into trust. We confess how quick we are to take things into our own hands, how easily we slip into problem-solving mode, as if everything depends on us. How often we say we trust you, but still try to keep one hand on the wheel. But we don't want to live like that anymore. That kind of control only leaves us restless, and you never asked us to carry it. Teach us to trust you, not just when things feel calm, but especially when they don't. When the report is bad, when the door closes, when people misunderstand us, when we don't get the outcome we prayed for. That's when trust is tested, and that's when we need your Spirit to steady us from within. Help us let go of the need to figure everything out. Help us release the timelines we've created, the pressure we've put on ourselves, the expectations we've allowed to define us. None of those things have brought us peace, but you do. Shape our desires, Lord. Align our thoughts with yours. We don't want to keep reacting out of fear or pride or self-preservation. We want to respond with grace, with faith, with the kind of love that can only come from you. Make us more like Jesus, humble, compassionate, patient, fearless. Strip away what doesn't reflect him. Burn off the pride, the bitterness, the anxiety, the comparison, the doubt. Replace it with the fruit of your Spirit. Not just on the outside where people can see, but deep on the inside, where only you truly know us. And when we feel the pull to go back to old ways, when we want to fix, defend, or hide, remind us that we belong to a shepherd who never loses sight of his sheep. Help us be the kind who follow, who rest, who listen, even when the path isn't clear. We want to be people marked not by fear but by peace, not by control but by surrender, not by stress but by the unshakable confidence that our lives are in your hands. So yes, Lord, change our circumstances where you will, but above all, change our hearts. That's where the real miracle begins, not in things suddenly getting better, but in us becoming more like you, no matter what we walk through. Make us teachable, make us quiet enough to hear your whisper, make us brave enough to follow your lead, and make us gentle enough to love like you, even when the world is loud and angry. Today, we don't just ask for help, we ask for transformation, because we don't want to live the same way we've always lived. We want to live as people who are being made new, day by day, choice by choice, moment by moment, in the hands of the one who loves us most. Today, with faith planted deep in our hearts, even if it's only the size of a mustard seed, we make a declaration, not out of pride, not out of wishful thinking, but out of quiet, unshakable confidence in the one who never fails. We declare that evil will fall, not because we're stronger than it, not because life suddenly got easier, but because the Lord, our shepherd, walks before us, behind us, and beside us. His presence breaks the grip of fear. His voice silences lies. His authority pushes back everything that tries to destroy our peace. We declare that the Lord is our shepherd. That's not a metaphor to us, it's the anchor of our lives. He leads, he protects, he provides. He knows the way through dark valleys and brings us safely to still waters. Even when we feel lost, we are never truly lost, because he knows exactly where we are. We declare that we shall not want, not because we'll always get what we ask for, but because we'll never lack what we truly need. Our lives are in the hands of a provider who doesn't ration his goodness. He gives daily bread. He sustains us with grace. He fills the empty places with a peace that doesn't depend on outcomes. We declare that goodness and mercy are following us, not some days. Not only on the mountaintops, every single day, in the confusion, in the waiting, in the weariness, his goodness is right there. His mercy is new every morning. We may not always see it, but we choose to believe it. We choose to live as people who are being followed by the faithfulness of God. We're not declaring these things because we've earned them. We're declaring them because they're true, because God is who he says he is, because his promises don't change with our emotions or our circumstances. He is faithful when we are faithless. He is steady when we are shaken. He is near even when we feel far. And that's why we speak this truth over our lives today, not just as a hope, but as a holy confidence. Evil will not win. Fear will not have the final word. Lack will not define our future. Shame will not shape our identity. Worry will not steal this day, because the Lord is our shepherd, and he is more than enough. We believe in a God who still works in the unseen, who still parts seas, who still opens doors no man can shut, who still comforts the brokenhearted, who still holds the future in his hands, even when ours are trembling. So we plant this declaration deep into the soil of this morning. Whatever comes, whatever stays, whatever leaves, our shepherd is faithful, our shepherd is present, and we will not be afraid. We will walk through this day, not as orphans, but as sons and daughters of the King. We will walk through it not in fear, but in faith, not in despair, but with expectation, because our story isn't being written by pain or fear or defeat. It's being written by the hand of a God who promises to finish what he started. And if he is writing it, we already know how it ends. Goodness and mercy, strength for today, hope for tomorrow, and a place in his presence forever. That's the kind of shepherd we have, and that's the kind of faith we carry. Quiet, steady, unshakable. not because of us, but because of Him.